Hello. Thank you for meeting this evening. Bearing in mind that you have spent the whole of this day wisely and everything is good, and your God has you have been together the whole day and has make you to reach this far. Today we are talking about the poverty. And what is the meaning of the word poverty? Poverty means, or rather it is allocated in so many different ways, and that's why we are saying that in the world poverty may be interpreted by differently by different people and from different geographical location and different social and economic circumstances, whereby when we talk about poverty, you may find other people they are talking about when they are saying poverty. In one or the other, they are holding the word poverty, or rather they are saying poverty in this way, or rather they are taking that way. But I want to say that to some people in the world, the word poverty means lack of food, shelter, and clothing. But to you, does the word poverty means that? Other people, word poverty means lack of money to buy the basic needs. Because they don't have this and that, you may find that now they differ from the word poverty. Because the word poverty might be broad in a way that it might be holded, or rather shielded in a situation whereby we might not understand the word poverty in one or the other. Because other poverty could mean lack of luxury and make life more comfortable. They are not comfortable, so they say we have poverty. We are in a poverty location. We are in a poverty situation. They don't have food. They say we are in a poverty. They say that they don't have money. We are in a poverty. Other, you may find, however, the level of poverty depend on the general standard of the people in the country. E.g., here in Kenya, when we say poor, people are poor, it categorically means that those people have no food, no clothing, and no shelter. It is here in Kenya, when we say those people are in that categorical of poverty. You may sound that maybe we are saying that those people, they don't have food. Those people, they don't have clothing. They are not comfortable because some of them, they don't have like something like the basic needs like TV. They don't have they don't have car. They don't have house. They keep on renting. They say they are in a poverty. No. You may find that now this poverty you are holding in one or the other. These people may be in a problem and require help from every quarter. So you may find that now this poverty, it is something that can make you to go forward. So in America or Britain, where the standard of living are high, a poor man has all basic needs provided. The poor man in America is even able to drive his own car, the poor man. So meaning that now, if we can categorize, or rather we can put us that way here in Kenya, is it possible? So whatever who has car, we thought that is very rich, but because of the car, and now maybe one house or two or three. But you may find that now, that is not richness. Moving or rather driving car, that is not richness. That one does not mean that you have hold everything, or rather you have. But you may find the poverty sounds that it is something that can make you to use your mankogosity to make other people move forward And also, when they are moving forward, you are also moving forward. So without any helter-skelter, without any hastiness, because you know what you are doing, you are able to hold. And that's why when we are talking about, when I have and that organization of poverty eradication, we normally say, or rather the key area that you normally hold very much, it's teaching. How you can teach people to move from where they are, to uplift their standard of living, and they look forward, or rather they see their future. And that's why, like yesterday when I was in class, I was telling students that sometimes when you want to walk out from the poverty eradication, or rather poverty situation that you are, what kind of decision are you making? Which kind of plan do you have? Which future references that can you be based on? So that when you look forward, you can say, well, because if you look now to those people, to him, poverty means that he does not have any money he would want to buy, to have, which is opposite to here in Kenya. So meaning that he might have that car, he might have house, but he is in a poverty because he doesn't have money, enough money. But when it comes to basic needs, he has, or else she has. When it comes to food, they have. But here in Kenya, it is totally opposite. Because if you're not driving, you're poverty. You're not stable. If you don't have food, you are in that disaster, or rather in a problem area. But I better tell you that again, the level of poverty from one person to another will depend on an economic gap. My state of living and the other person, you may find that a certain gap whereby we can interrogate, or rather we can interpret it as poverty. Oh, he has not reached my level. But you may find that here in Kenya, there are 3 classes of people. One, we call it low classes. This is made of extreme poor people who live in slums and others found in streets begging food. Majority of Kenyans are here, whereby it is 60%. Or rather, there is in that nature. And today's life, you may find that now it can categorize up to maybe 80%. But now, when it comes to the middle class, that is the other stage of poverty, middle class. The middle class has all basic requirements provided, and they live in semi and permanent buildings. And this group of people are able to even to educate their own children and may not need relief assistance. So they cannot go outside there borrowing money to educate their family, to eat, do this and that. They have their house. That's what we call the middle class poverty stage. Since that now, that area in here in Kenya, you may find that it categorized may up to reach to about 80%. The other point, or rather the other area, is upper class. Is made up of extremely rich people who live luxury. Only small percent of Kenya's population is found here in Kenya. And they are about like 10% or maybe 12%. So meaning that in this nature, you may find that everything is based on economic. Meaning that now, when it comes to the economic differences, you may find that now, we might say, since you are living in slums, you are poor. You are not poor. You are not poor. Sometimes I normally say that you are poor if at all your mind does not sit down and come to what we call the art and craft. Or reach to a point of whereby you can sit down and make a good decision whereby you'll be able to control yourself. so that at the end of the day, you may come out from where you are. And in that way, you may find that good people, or rather the number of people, they want to see you because of what you have. What do you have? Do you have something people they can rely on? You can be rich because people are relying with you. You might not have those cars, you might not have that building and this and that, but people are relying with you. Why? It is because you are enriching what? You are enriching your mankogosity. You are enriching in other these things that you are doing in your life. And you may find that now, since you are making community to wake up, that's where the richness, or rather your poverty reached. So meaning that now, when I come to that point, you may find that now, I can say that there is a very big economic gap between the low and the upper classes. And it's very big. But now, as such, when we say that 60% of Kenyan population is living below the poverty line, it means that those people are extremely poor, with no food, clothing, and shelter. Although there are a few rich people, Kenyan categorized as poor nation because 2/3 of its population can not feed itself. 2/3 they cannot feed themselves. So meaning that now the poverty is on a higher side. Meaning that now, not unless those 10% people, they are making us to live, or rather they are making us, our economic to work well, you may find that in one or the other, we are affected. And in that population, you may find that Kenyans is in one of the poorest country. Kenya land as one of the poorest country in the world. From the year 2006 up to date, maybe this is the time that you are moving a certain point whereby we can say we are moving. But is it possible? Can economically make everybody in this country to feel touchable? But you may find that even when it comes to news, when it comes to people talking, social or other societies, you may find that the world economy affects this country. And if it is affecting this country, when it comes to the middle class people, how or rather which percentage are they affected? You may find that now the middle class people, they might drop. Instead of going up, they are coming down. And since now they are coming down, you may find that now, I think we can go to a point whereby the president and the government, they have to sit down and ask, are we making us to go forward, or we are coming, or rather we are putting our country down? So, and we should look economically whether we are affecting the number of people in this country. Are we, when it comes to the slums like Soweto, Gitari Marigo, Kwajenga, Kibera, where are these people based on when it comes to poverty? Have they reached to a point whereby that the government can say that it is possible that before now we go to the level of meeting other people, we meet the slums people, and then we make them how they can change their life? Is it possible that government come with the organizations that they can chip to this slums area, and then we try now to eradicate this poverty? Until these people say, yes, we have been searching jobs, we have been searching this and that, but since the government hold us and we able to educate us so that we may be able to fight this poverty, we are moving. But I can say, poverty is also depending, or rather depends on the level of the development. And that's why I'm saying the government is supposed to chip in. How many types of development do we have in this country? So that at the end of the day, we may be able to educate, we may be able to implement, and we may be able to focus because of the future references. Or it is a strategy whereby after the campaigning, and singing a song, this and that. It is a duplication of songs, whereby it is not real songs. After now they get in the seats, then we start now saying, we will. Now the song of the day start, we will. And yet, you find that now, another 5 comes, the 5 years comes, then we go back to the election again. Then we start the deprecation song again. I think we are supposed to come out with the real song. And whatever we are doing, let us ask, do we have any development of eradicating this poverty in this country? But as we start doing so, I think we are supposed to start with us ourselves. We leaders, because yesterday when I was talking about leadership, I was thinking that one of the leadership categorization is about what we call the autocratic leadership, whereby that leaders, they are able to say something in their mind, and when they come to the society, the action speaks rather than words. Do we go as per that? So you may find that now, this especially when it comes to true issue of development, it developed the whole nation. And the country like America, Britain, Japan are developed nations. These are very rich countries, and the standard of living are quite high. Countries like Kenya are under undeveloped countries, These countries are poor, and the citizens live in a pathetic conditions. Let me say, if I say that, or rather if somebody tells me that I'm talking a lie, I think it is possible you tell me that if it is a lie, then when it comes to issues of development in this country, we start development in areas that people are rich, making companies. You find that the prominent people are making their own companies. But there's nowhere we have heard that the government went to Kibera, went to Soweto, went to Getarimarigo, and correct youth. And they start first of all training them without first of all going, or rather when it comes to bursaries, they have gone to the Soweto people or Getarimarigo and other areas, slums area. But you may find when it comes to the bursaries, even people that they have 3 plots, they are queuing for the bursaries. People that they have this and that, they are queuing for the bursaries. Then you have to ask me, or rather you have to tell me, which development based on this country are we based on? If at all, when it comes to the bursaries, the government first of all cannot say, we want to go to that development area. Let us first of all work with the slums people. And like the way they know, they go door to door in slums. And then they try to develop those people. They try to uplift them. So that tomorrow, the children of these families may change their localities and they may change their lives. So, in 10 years to come, you may find that now, the people of Getarimarigo and other Soweto and other whatever, they may not sell those drugs. Why? Because they are developed. Because the government is chipping in and then they are trying to give out something that at the end of the day, they can say, oh, we are able to now to pull away drugs or the wines, but we have given them this development. And that's why, like I've been going around these slums. I've been working with these people in these slums. But you may find that now, when it comes to the poverty, the word poverty, it creates so many rooms in their houses. Whereby, if you look them when they are working, the dressing codes, their foods, how they are living, you may find that now the poverty is on a higher side. And that's why I'm saying that when it comes to this nation, you may find that we are not supposed to go somewhere. And these are very, when I'm talking about the Britain and Japan and other areas, I was saying that they are very developed. But you may find when it comes to this our country, or rather to this citizens, people of this country, you may find when it comes to that condition of pathetic ones, you may find that they are totally poor. And I can say a poor man in Japan or America has all basic needs provided. What may be lacking is expensive luxuries, like going to swim, art and craft, to make his life more comfortable. Thus, the level of developing of a nation will determine the nature of poverty and the citizen are lively to have, or are likely to have. So poverty also depends on an individual. Now let's forget about the government. Let's come to an individual. You may find that different people have differences perspectively of what or about. E.g., a person may have claiming to be poor simply because he has not have food or clothing or shelter. This indeed, it might be true or it might be lie. Because sometimes even those that they have clothes, or rather they are able to go to this kibarua there and there, there are people that they are relying with their friends. They are relying with their mothers. They are relying with their friends. But the best thing to do, it is to art and craft. Think. Use your mind wisely. So that asking yourself, are you poor? And what is poor? What is to be poor? And that's why sometimes I normally say that that tongue, or that word cannot get in my tongue. And then I say I am poor. I cannot be say so. Because I'm not poor. I know how to go east and west. And you try to make a 1 shilling. If you are able to make 1 shilling, you are not a poor. I think poor is somebody who is not able to walk. Somebody who is not able to think. And that's where we need we are supposed to think about the poverty. How can we help them? Is it education-wise? Is it economically? Is it health-wise? So there are so many ways that you can visit somebody and say, I'm poor. So, as I conclude this issue of today, I can say another one may be claimed to be poor simply because he is not able to afford good life of luxury to make his life better. This person has also a basic needs provided, but he feels, or else she feels poor because not able to have own house. I don't think it can make, or rather a car. I think that one we are supposed to go an extra mile and ask ourselves, buying a car, that's a luxury, or rather it's a basic need that in one or the other you want to say I want to live with. But are you able to live? Are you able to achieve? Are you able to develop? As tomorrow we come to the types of poverty, I want you to just go and think. You are in which status of life? Are you able to make other people rich because of you? Because you have money, because you are rich, because you feel economically you are strong. How many people in your life have you changed your life? How you have changed their life? And I think if you have done so, 10 people, meaning that they rely with your life, then it is sound that even God will provide you with a good richness. But there are some riches, we based on selfless, whereby you can't help others. whereby you can't assist other people with something, even a single shilling. But I better tell you, even you can go and you wash their clothes. You can do them something good until they say, oh, that man of mankogosity is well blessed because he's thinking the other person. He's thinking about other people. So, as I conclude this night, I want to tell you, be a man of high integrity. Be a man of feel that there's nothing like poverty surrounded. Thank you for joining. Thank you. Abdi Hassan, thank you. I can see you. Thank you again. Continue tapping. And I was talking about the poverty, and I do believe that, Hassan, you are not in that life. Hassan, you are a rich man. Abdi Hassan, you are rich. You are rich, I better tell you. So that now make this day people know who you are. Make something. Ask our president, deputy president, how many development they have gone to slums and they change. Before we go to other development area, is it possible that we have gone to those slums area and we take like 10 youths and we educate them and we tell them that we pluck you, or rather we have plucked them out of the poverty. We heard that now the government is also lending those houses that they are building. Once they remove the house, they remove the slums, they build those houses. But I think the best thing to do, in one or the other, we have to go to an extra mile, and then we give them some of these houses. Yeah, we give them and tell them, because if like those prominent people, they have their house, why don't you let we say in government, since we are 10 million, take 5 million and build it for them, and we say those are your houses. That's one way of plucking poverty in this country. And we cannot live. We can live by saying that we are in a rich country. Thank you, Hassan. So, Pastor Nganga, I can see you. And thank you for joining. So, as I can come to conclude, I better say that let us depend in our own life. Let us ask ourselves again, which status are we in? Are we in a status whereby everybody can see all of us we are rich? In one or the other, because God has given us this environment and we are doing small things here and there, yes, we are rich. What about those people that are in hospital, that they have been there several months, several years, they are not able to pay their hospital bills? What do we think in society? How do we put that thing? Do we come to a point of say that this time I have to go to Kenyatta Hospital and I try to assist 3 people? I think I've never at one time have the government saying this month we'll give it 10% to the people of they're in Kenyatta Hospital, and we pay the bill of 10% of what you are getting through our economic. And in one or the other, you might find that maybe God can provide, or rather God can bless us very much in this country if we can sit down and come to that point. Because seeking, or rather, I'm having, not seeking, but having that bad health, or rather, we are not able to hold this and that. That one does not mean that we are poor. But sometimes you may find that we are forced by circumstances. And then we find ourselves, because I was in hospital, but not me. I'm giving an example. I was in a hospital, and I had a certain disease whereby my family tend to sell my property so that now I may pay the hospital bill. After that, I may not be able to go back to my job. From there, I've come now to become a poor. How does government chip in? and then say such a person would like to be able to do ABCD. I think in one or the other, we are supposed to come to, with a point that at the end of the day, let us come to a point of saying, let us think one another. And in that nature, you may find all of us in this country, we shall be able to do good eradications. Like we hold 3-4 people, but you may find that most of the time, even churches, they don't think about that. They don't think how they can go to hospital, and they say, since in the church you have corrected 10 million, 5 million we have to go to Kenyatta Hospital and they pay bills. But there are some normally do because of their own dependence. They want to be categorized, and so that they may reach this far and that. But today, I better say, be blessed. Let us find ourselves in that area of looking way forward, how we can move from the poverty that we are in. Be blessed, Kate, Catherine, Baba, Bra, thank you. Nere Kimani, thank you. And be blessed, all of you. See you tomorrow at around 8:30. Be blessed. Nini? Nini ya? Nini?